Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. 49ers add sneaky efficient QB, love how he plays the position. Curtis Rourke isn't quite Mr. Irrelevant, but he's pretty close. The San Francisco 49ers took Rourke with the 227th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, several selections ahead of the infamous label that's attached to San Francisco's current starting quarterback Brock Purdy, who the team chose with the final pick in 2022. Rourke is coming off a 2024 campaign in which he ranked second in the NCAA in passing efficiency, 176.1, just behind Jackson Dart, 180.7, who was taken in the first round, 25th overall, by the New York Giants. Rourke didn't compete against SEC-level competition for much of his career, but he does have some intangibles that made the team take notice. Let's take a closer look at what the 49ers' newest QB brings to the table. Beginning at Ohio University, Rourke redshirted in 2019 before sharing quarterback duties in 2020 and 2021. His breakout came in 2022 when he threw for 3,257 yards and 25 touchdowns, earning MAC Offensive Player of the Year honors. Unfortunately, his season was cut short due to a torn ACL. He returned in 2023 and finished with 2,207 passing yards and 11 TDs. He received second-team All-MAC recognition that year. Rourke transferred to Indiana University in 2024, where he played for one season. Under head coach Curt Cignetti, he led the Hoosiers to an 11-win campaign and their first college football playoff appearance. Rourke set a school record with 29 passing TDs, including 6 in a single game, against Purdue. He did this while playing the entire season on a torn ACL, which was a remarkable display of toughness. With Purdy as the established starter and Mac Jones a season backup option, Rourke will be competing with Tanner Mordecai, who signed with the Niners as an UDFA in 2024, for the QB3 spot. At 24, Rourke is older than some other rookie prospects, but he also brings maturity and a wealth of experience with him. While recovering from ACL surgery, Rourke is still a player both GM John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan are excited to work with. "We took him with the understanding that he's not going to likely be cleared until training camp," Lynch said about Rourke, via 49ers web zone. "But we just felt like there was a lot of talent, a lot of ability. The guy plays the game the right way. You can't have enough good quarterbacks and wanted to add him to the mix, and we were able to do it in the 7th round and excited to do so." Shanahan was equally impressed with his newest signal caller. "Just loved his size, loved how he throws, loved how he plays the position," the 49ers coach said after the draft. "Especially watching him this year, I don't think it was a coincidence how good of a year they had with the type of quarterback they had. No, he did it the whole year he had a broken finger, a torn ACL and still was really, really impressive." Shanahan also noted the Niners don't expect Rourke to be ready to go right away. "He probably won't be cleared by training camp, but it'll be close. It's not an issue for us right now," Shanahan said, adding, "I thought it was just a very good valuable pick for us, for a guy who might not be ready for another year, because I think he's about 7 months out because he got it done after the season. But we're in a situation where we could take him and I think he would have gone a lot higher if he was healthy." Depending on the length of his recovery, the 49ers may want to keep Rourke on the practice squad during his first year. Regardless, it'll be interesting to see if he can carve out a role for himself. 49ers 2025 NFL Draft grades for every pick. The San Francisco 49ers entered the 2025 NFL Draft with the air of a team in transition. After years of pushing all their chips into Super Bowl contention, the roster finally began to show cracks. A bruising free agency period also left them reeling on both sides of the trenches. Sure, star power at the top remained. However, the once imposing depth that made them a juggernaut was hollowed out. The draft offered a chance for a partial reset. Yes, it remains to be seen if the 49ers hit the jackpot. That said, there's no question they attacked their biggest needs aggressively. Let's break down every pick and hand out grades for a draft class that could shape the next era of 49ers football. The blueprint was clear heading into the draft. The 49ers needed to rebuild the lines and restock the cupboards. Defensive tackle was the biggest emergency after the departures of multiple rotational pieces. Meanwhile, San Francisco had to begin planning for life without legendary left tackle Trent Williams. Depth at edge rusher was a must, too, to ease the burden on Nick Bosa. Offensively, the 49ers couldn't afford to ignore running back depth. This was considering how injuries ravaged the backfield during their underwhelming 2024 campaign. Cornerback help was also a priority given attrition at the position. General Manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan didn't need fancy. They needed functional, and the 2025 draft was their opportunity to get back to basics. San Francisco didn't overthink it. Michael Williams has the blueprint to be the next Georgia defender who blossoms even brighter in the NFL. Scouts love his length, raw power, and athletic ceiling. Slotted opposite Bosa, Williams won't be asked to be the guy right away. However, if he puts it all together, this could be a franchise-defining pick. The 49ers may have found their future sack leader. Steelers rumors: Kirk Cousins remains in play if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign. The 2025 NFL Draft presumably implies one of two things in regards to the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation. The team is confident it will eventually sign Aaron Rodgers, or it is perfectly content just figuring things out at the position and hoping for the best. But there might be another scenario that management is keeping in its back pocket. You can call it the Kirk Cousins contingency plan. If your good friend Aaron Rodgers does not go to Pittsburgh, I think that would be a possibility. For Cousins, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport told the Pat McAfee Show on Monday afternoon. The respected insider then admitted that aside from the Steelers, there are no plausible landing spots for the current Atlanta Falcons backup QB. More than 1 year after signing a 4-year, $180 million contract, $100 million guaranteed, Cousins is now running out of time and options to start under center. Although he posted a few stellar outings, his first season in Atlanta was a big disappointment overall. The 36-year-old threw just 18 touchdowns and a career-high 16 interceptions in 14 games before losing the starting job to top 10 draft pick Michael Penix Jr. Though, perhaps a change of scenery and an experienced head coach like Mike Tomlin could revitalize him in the final chapter of his NFL career. Cousins would have wide receivers DK Metcalf and George Pickens at his disposal, assuming the latter does not get traded, which should theoretically open up plenty of opportunities in the passing attack. And do not forget, this man was on his way to possibly posting a career year with the Minnesota Vikings before suffering a torn Achilles in 2023. There are reasons to believe the 4-time Pro Bowl selection could do enough to keep Pittsburgh in AFC wildcard contention. But there are also red flags that simply cannot be ignored. The Steelers' offensive line would have to provide Cousins with much better protection than what it gave Russell Wilson last season. Assuming the unit has more luck in the injury department, there is a chance of that concern being alleviated. There are other issues that lack such a straightforward solution, though. The lingering effects of the torn Achilles and natural perils of father time could thwart Kirk Cousins' starter aspirations. The league clearly thinks this as well, hence why he is still on the Falcons roster. And you, fan? What do you think about Kirk Cousins' situation? Write to us in the comments.